Well, I did drop a lot of dick around town,
Oh my
but
God.
I've never, like, gone all the way in.
Okay, so welcome back to my channel. I am Jason, and this is going to be a recap of Shrill Season 2, Episode 1, Camp. Okay, so it picks up where Season 1 left off. She confronted her troll. They have an exchange of words. She picks up a flower pot. She then commits to committing a felony by throwing the flower pot through his car window, breaking his car window, and then she takes off running, all while he's cussing and, you fat bitch, da 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 da. So she decides to go. She runs all the way to Pete's house. Ryan's house. Pete is Brian's friend. So Ryan, at this time, they're sitting in the living room. Ryan is playing the game. One of his friends is sitting there on the couch, half dead. They got some kind of flu or something. He's hacking and coughing, and Ryan is cussing him out like, "Dude, take your ass in the room before you get us all sick." Da 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 da. So she comes barreling through the door, all excited and proud of herself that she conducted herself in this way for some odd reason. Okay, I get it. Committing when you create content, you're gonna have the odd people that just post just random crap, just get a rise out of you. Yes, the comments that the person posted was distasteful. It was rude. It was vulgar. It was nasty. But at the same time, putting yourself out in the public, there's a certain amount of BS that you deal with. And so her way of dealing with this, obviously it wasn't the safest because she went to the troll's house by herself and anything could have happened to her. And then in the throes of her getting caught up in her emotions, she committed a crime. Okay, now she's all on this high right now, right? So she's done this and she ran away. She feels like she's gotten away with it, and she told him, how she really felt and da 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 da. And so Pete is like, okay. So Pete is Ryan's friend. He's like, okay. No, first Ryan was like, okay, you got blood on you, and so she was like, I almost cut my hand when I threw my hand through the pot through the window. And he was like, oh, so you left DNA at the scene. And she was like, well, it doesn't really matter because he knows who I am anyway. And so they start talking, and for some reason they decide that she needs to leave town. Okay, so this is why she's listening to them. I don't know. Anywho, but obviously, based on what she just did, she's not thinking clearly. Anyway, so Pete has this. He goes behind the counter and is like, I have a backpack for situations like this. And so he grabs his bag from behind the couch. He flips his old raggedy chair over and he pulls out a gun. And she's like, oh my gosh, you have a gun? He was like, yeah, so they now. He was like, okay, we need to go. Then he was like, oh shit, I don't have my mom's car. So Pete was like, I have my mom's car. So how are they supposed to be making a getaway? They supposed to be the Bonnie and Clyde or whatever. I don't know. In Pete's mom's car, she got the floral steering wheel cover and the doilies covering the headrest. I mean, they some OGs. I mean, riding right. Okay, so they eventually come to some spot in the woods where they're gonna set up camp. And he pulls out a blanket and sets the blanket down. She was like, oh, okay. So is there going to be a tent? He was like, no, this is pretty much it. So they're like on this blanket in the woods, and okay. So now she's like, I have to use the bathroom, and she was like, is there an outhouse or something? And he was like, look around. You could go anywhere. We're out in the woods. And she was like, I am not going out there by myself. So he ends up going out with her so she could use the bathroom. And so she's trying to use the bathroom, and she's like, well, I can't really do it while you're standing there staring at me. He said, oh, so would it make you feel better if I go too? So he's now standing next to her pissing. So it's a whole moment, okay? And so I guess romance. I don't know what the hell. They are just ridiculous. Damn ridiculous, okay? So, Ryan and Fran. So Fran is tossing and turning. It's the wee hours of the night. She hasn't heard from Annie. She can't sleep, and so she's worried about what's going on. And so you flash back to Ryan and Annie, and they're talking, and he's like, they have the real heart to heart, and he's like, well, you're my first real girlfriend, and as you saw in the clip in the beginning, that whole part of that conversation where he was like, well, sure, I've dropped a lot of dick around town, and I'm just like, these people are just so crass and crude and just damn ridiculous, okay? And And then she started talking about, how he's her first boyfriend, and how she, and this kind of also plays into what I was saying before. And, you get that when people have low self-esteem. She was like, have a lot of fantasies about relationship with people. But, she basically resigned herself to basically getting scrapped. So she never really had any expectations of anyone. So she took what they gave her, and she basically admitted to that. And I'm just looking at, okay, well, yeah, Pete, hello, him screwing you and shoving you out the back door so you can climb a gate, all because he doesn't want his friends in his business. Yeah, okay, I see that. So the next morning, Ryan is trying to get some, and I'm just like, oh God, they were just out in the woods the night before. She had the cop squat. He's over there pissing. I'm just like, just foul. You can just imagine the smell, the stench. So he's trying to get lucky, and she was like, you know what? This is 2-day-old pussy, and I just don't feel comfortable. And he was like, this is 4-day-old dick, and he was like, I really don't care. I just wanted da. So he actually goes down and starts tossing her salads. And so I don't know where they were, but next thing you know, while he's down there doing his thing, she look over and she see like this Boy Scout troop coming towards them. And so they end up having to make a mad dash to grab all the blankets and shoes and stuff to run away. Yeah. Some kind of foul. Okay, anywho, so Amadi, it's the next day. This is the day after Annie quit, and he is giving his little pep talk about, I just want you guys to know after the display that Annie gave us yesterday, like she's some spoiled child and she stormed out of here. We're just not going to do that. We're going to foster a more family-oriented environment, and no more dramatic no more dramatic exits. And Amadi tried to say something to him, and he was like, no. Like I said, no more dramatic. And he slammed his hand on the desk, and no more dramatic exits, and knocked something over, and he sachets on the way. So it's like, okay, well, we see I guess the people who make the rules don't have to follow them. I guess. So, I forget the Asian guy's name who worked with them. He was like, well, yeah, so I know since Andy's gone, so I guess you and I can kind of hang out and be buddies. And it was a really awkward moment. Amari was like, I don't think so. I got a lot to do. It was like kind of that small talk, and you kind of try to get away as quickly as possible. So they're now, Annie and Brian are now at a restaurant. She commandeered some teenage girls' charger. Her phone's died. And she finally hears a message from her father. Now, if you remember the last episode, the mom she had a lot on her, and she had to get away. But the thing is, she didn't tell anybody she was leaving. She left a note for her husband saying that she was going to Vancouver, So she's just now getting this message, okay? So now she's like, oh my God, what is happening? So while she's trying to listen to the message, now you have this teenage girl, her little brother, and her parents are there. They're sitting there eating while Annie's charging her phone. Ryan walks over and is like, oh my God, the kids at the campsite, I hope I didn't forget the gun. And so now, of course, the parents are like, oh, hell, and so she kind of gave him the look. She was like, what am I talking about? I don't have a gun. He's trying to play it off now. But, of course, he's stupid. So she's now, they were trying to rush out because she's trying to get to her dad's house to find out what is going on. So while they were driving, she was just talking about, oh my God, I can't believe this is going on. So next thing you know, Ryan gets a message. It's his boss. He's like, this is your however many days missing work. Your ass is fired. Don't even bother coming in. So now he's like, oh shit. So she was like, oh my God, I just feel like this is Annie. I feel like it's all my fault because I told my mother she needed to take better care of herself. And then, you came out here to be me. But he was just a bum anyway. So girl, I can't imagine he would have held that job much longer. But she was blaming herself. Like, it seems like, I'm basically, she was blaming herself. Okay, so she gets to her father's house, one of her father bandmates is there. It's like this creepy guy. So he goes in to hug her, and he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, can I hug you, or is this going to be a Me Too moment?" And just one of them jackasses. So she's like, I just want to see my dad. So she kind of pushed past him, and her father's going off like, "Where the hell were you? I've been calling you." Da, da, da. She was like, "I'm sorry, all this stuff is going on." Da, da, da. Fran walks in. Fran's down there because he called Fran when he couldn't get in contact with her, and she was like, "You know what? This is." What the hell is going on with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're supposed to be friends, and you basically just disappear. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on. Your dad's calling me. What's up? And so they noticed the friend, he was cooking something and he forgot about it. So next thing you know, something is burning. The smoke detectors are going off. They all run into the kitchen. Ryan comes in with his damn gun. They think he's about to shoot the daggone smoke detector, but he ends up hitting it and breaking it. And his dad was like, "What? He has a gun?" She was like, "Oh, well, we went camping. It's not a big deal." Da, da, da. And then he saw the blood on her dress. And she was like, "Oh, I got my period." So she was like, "Oh, yes." A friend grabs her and pulls her in the room so she could change and all that. And she's like, "What the hell is going on?" And Fran had to tell her, like, "Okay, you know, the only reason you went to Ryan," so she's now telling Fran what happened with the troll. She was like, "I can't believe you went there by yourself. And so you went to Ryan, and I don't know why." She said, "You went to Ryan because you knew he was the only person that would go along with your bullshit," basically. And so she had to admit that, yeah, that was right. And she was like, "You know what? Well, you can't, you didn't respond to any texts, any phone calls." She was like, basically, just can't be a one-sided friendship. You have to be a friend to me too." And she's like, I know, da da da. And so while they're talking, Ryan comes in and he's like, "Your mom's on the phone." So the dad's talking to the mom. And he's like, "Well, what's going on?" He's like, "You know, telling her or whatever." And so he's calm and he's like, "Okay." So she's talking about what she's doing. The mom, you can't hear the conversation, but you can just by his response. She's like, "Oh, so I didn't know that they did that." And he's just trying to, you know, keep calm. And you know, he was like, "Okay, well, we'll see you soon." And so he got off the phone. And so she's like, "Well," and he was like, "Well, what's going on? What happened?" He was like, "No, it's all good. She's in Canada. Everything is all good." Da, da, da. He said, "That's all you said?" He's like, "You know what? It's between me and your mother." And so the next thing we see is Anne is now talking to everybody. Now she's finally revealed that she quit her job. So Annie is like, "Are you serious?" And Dad is like, What the hell is going on? Why would you do that?" "Well, my boss, and he just wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do." And so her father was like, "Okay, you mean like every other fucking job in the world, anytime you work for somebody, what are you talking about? No company is going to allow you to do that. Like, what? That was a great job. Why would you do that?" And so they're all standing looking at her like, "Okay, we don't know what the hell has gotten into you, but you need to fix it." And so she's like, "Well, I'm going to get it together. I'm going to get it together." And that's how the episode ended. And so it was just like one bad decision after another. You just watch the show and you just see it's just a hot ass mess. It's just, she's a mess, Ryan's a mess, and it's just become she's just become so self-involved. And I think there's a fine line between being confident and just narcissistic and just self-involved. And I feel like that's where she is now. She's just making rash decisions. She's not thinking shit through. She's quitting her job. She's not thinking about her friend and roommate friend. Like, how are they supposed to pay the bills? What? Everything is just all high emotion, and it's more emotion and very little logic and reason on the choices that she's making. And it's impacting her relationships. So that was Camp, season 2, episode 1, Camp. Lord, they gonna be bonding. When I saw that damn floral steering wheel cover, I'm like, what the hell are they going? And how far you think you about to go? I get out of town with somebody else's mama car. So none of these dudes, all 3 of these dudes live together, and I'm like, who's paying the rent? He's half-ass going to work. You don't really know too much about his other 2 roommates, but they're both, at least 2 of them need their mama's car to get around. And these are all men that look like they're in their 30s. This is freaking ridiculous. It's absolutely disgusting. But I'm going to end this here, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.